Okay, so I'm here today with Dan from StreetX. How you on today, man?
Good, thanks, and you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right, so how did you actually get started with StreetX?
I started while I was in my last semester at uni. I was always sort of playing with the idea, and I used to sell basketball jerseys and hats with one of my friends at uni in our couple of last semesters. I'm pretty sure they were all fake jerseys, but sold a few, made a little bit of money, and then I sort of was like, yeah, I want to actually do something. And then yeah, in my last semester, I started what is now StreetX.
So how did you come up with the name StreetX?
I was doing a commerce degree, and obviously everything I was doing was heavily financially influenced. So I was sort of like, oh, I want to do something stock exchange sort of themed. So we did, originally it was going to be called the Street Exchange, but then I sort of weighed it up, and there was a new stock exchange coming to Australasia called Chi-X. So I just sort of played with that and obviously came up with StreetX. And then now obviously it's the StreetX, the word, or STX sort of goes hand in hand.
It's definitely caught on with like everyone, right? Like it's just so catchy, the whole name.
Yeah, it's each their own, I suppose. Some people like it, some people don't, but it's done well, and it's not just the name that's made it do well, sorry. But yeah, it's all a part of it. Everything matters, and everything sort of works together to formulate what the business now is.
So what are your goals with StreetX? Like what would you like to do in 5 years' time?
Sort of just to make it into almost like a cultural platform, like what it is now, but way bigger. Make it sort of, obviously there's small time now. We do really well in Perth, and we've done really well for a long time here, but Perth's not even the tip of the iceberg. Perth's a small place in the scale of things. So ideally, in 5 years' time, things will be very different. We'll be all around the world, traveling and doing lots of different things. It's just the beginning now. There's so much more to do and so much more to accomplish.
So you want to see StreetX more as like more of like a lifestyle, in a sense that it's like very like music oriented.
It's not a clothing brand. It's much more than clothing. It's like that's what we try and do, different sort of things, parties, events, food orientated things. It's perfectly sort of demonstrated by the collaborations we've done, like the surf, there's food, there's rap, there's other clothing brands that are situated in different places around the world. We've done pop-ups in all different types of cities. Everything's different. There's never a one theme that sort of transcends everything we do. It's trying to be different, do the unexpected, and sort of do the things people aren't expecting or necessarily wanting. You sort of got to make them want that.
So if you could stock in anywhere, any store in the world, where would it be right now?
I probably just wouldn't stock in another store. We'd have our own store in the place that I want it to be.
Where would that be?
I don't know. I like Perth, but I don't know. My favorite. I really like LA. I really like Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Los Angeles. Yeah, let's go with LA. I like LA.
Sounds good. Okay, so talk about your personal brand. So how did you come up with the name Gucci Smoothie?
I like smoothies and I like Gucci.
So just go hand in hand.
Yeah, so it's the Gucci's like Gucci swag. Gucci's the upper echelon, and my smoothies are that good, so that's why I came up with Gucci Smoothie.
Are you actually good at making smoothies?
Very.
So what's your favourite smoothie to make?
I don't want to give away my secrets, but I like just mixing a lot of different things. I used to, when I first moved out of home, that's when it came about. I moved out with one of my best friends who you also know, Adam,
yeah,
and his wife Rachel, and they were super healthy. And I was always healthy when I was young, but we would always train together, and it's much easier to have a smoothie than try and do some healthy fucking cooking food. I hate cooking, so I was like, that's much easier. And then that sort of caught on, and then eventually I moved out of there and moved into a shitty little house in Northbridge, which was just fucked. So I bought one of my friends actually bought Luke Chan bought me a blender for, I think it was my birthday. Jeez, for a long time ago now, and I used that because we didn't really have a kitchen, so I just used that. And I actually went away for Adam's wedding, I think 4 years ago now, and I'd just broken up with my then ex-girlfriend, and I was training quite a lot, quite heavily, and competing, and wasn't really expressing myself in the way I do now. So I just sort of went away on that trip, and that was sort of a little turning point. Had a little bit of fun, did some interesting things, and here we are, 5 or 6 years later. Nice. I'm a new man.
Okay, so with your personal brand, do you think it's vital for a business owner to push their personal brand as much as their business, or how does it on a scale compared to that business? And does it help?
It's all situational. Everyone's different. Like, you look at certain brands, you wouldn't have a clue who the owner is, and it still does really well. So people don't buy Supreme because of who James Jebbia is. That's got nothing to do with it. It's like everyone. I mean, at the start, some businesses might do well just off being popular, but no one gives a shit about cool guys in business. It is what it is. It's like you can be a cool guy, you have no fucking clue how to run a business. That's short-term mentality. If you focus too much on being the cool guy and the popular guy and making everyone like you, you won't go far. As soon as you're too worried about what people think, that's your first mistake and first failure.
So you got to have substance behind the personal brand as well, not just doing shit for the likes and stuff.
Yeah, it's like as long as you're being you and it's organic.
Definitely, man.
That's long term. That's not even business. That's life. You just got to be you, be who you are, dress the way you want, act the way you want. If people like it, they'll like resonate towards you. If they don't like it, they'll leave you, and they're the people you don't want being part of your life.
That's good advice, man. So if you could go back in time with the knowledge that you have right now, and you went back to when you first started 3X, like you made the first decision of starting 3X,
yeah, and
you had to give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Take it slow.
So patience.
We've gone slow in time and have taken it quite slow, but I've made lots of mistakes along the way, spent money where I shouldn't have, done bad things, bought things I shouldn't have, and you're always going to have that as a reminder. So, I mean, the first thing I would say is just take it slow. Don't rush. That's the biggest thing. Time is the winning formula.
Cool, man. So is there any other advice that you want to give to anyone else that wanted to start like something similar to this?
Just do it. Don't sit back and talk about it. Do it. That's the only way you're going to ever find out. Everyone's going to think they can do it. Everyone wants to do it. No one ever does it.
Actually, talk about your whole journey like through sport as well.
Yep.
Like you started off playing soccer.
Yep.
At Sorrento, that's where we first met.
Yep.
We went to futsal in Canberra together.
That was
ages ago. Fuck.
10 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep.
And then you stopped playing and you went over to...
Yeah, sort of... when I was 19, it was sort of like the crossing point with football. I stopped watching completely, didn't follow it at all for 2 or 3 years and dropped off the radar and started jiu-jitsu and boxing and mixed martial arts, and eventually started competing in that.
How did you get into it? Like who?
My brother. I always loved watching it with him, and he'd always smack me around a little bit when we were young. And he always did it, and he was always a lot bigger than me. So I sort of was like, obviously the older brother thing, you want to do what your older brother does. So I started doing that eventually, and I fell in love with it. I just liked the idea of watching UFC, and then I did that for quite a while. Got quite into it, and was competing quite often, and then obviously got to a crossroad with that where it was like either competition or business, and I chose business, and that's sort of got me to where I am now. I still compete. I mean, I don't compete at the moment. I still train a lot and do the things I do. But that's how the pipes are still here, mate. That's still training and just stay fit. It's just, man, you feel good. Like that's the thing is, you're happy with yourself. You train, you're fit. It just feels life's better. Being fit and healthy is the best thing. Is eat well, train well, and work. It makes everything just flow so much more.
So it's definitely a part of your success with 3X, right?
Yeah,
like your health and
100%.
working out.
If I was just an unfit, overweight dude, I would just be not going out. Wouldn't be being me. You just be in the shell. That's my personal experience. That's a big part of my life is fitness and being who I am, and that fitness and health helps me be who I am because I feel way better about myself. And that's the main thing. As long as you can feel good, life's going to be good. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, most definitely. I see it as like when I work out or when I'm playing soccer, calisthenics, gymnastics, it's like an avenue for me to kind of release any stresses or tension that I have in regards to personal matters or business as well. It gives me that time to kind of reflect as well, because sometimes when I'm working out, I get like the best ideas for a short film or the next vlog kind of thing. So
Vlog scene.
yeah, it helps me with my personal brand as well, and helps me as a person. I don't think I'll be as like I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for not obviously the store, but like who I am today if it wasn't for what I do physically.
Yeah, it's a big help. Everyone's different. Some people don't exercise at all and they're happy with being overweight and that's just who they are. But for me, it's like, yeah, as you said, it's a big part of things. It helps you relieve stress, and I don't know anyone. Every time after exercise, you feel better. There's never a time where I'm like, oh, I feel worse. It just releases things in your body that certain things can't do.
So, what sort of advice would you give to someone trying to find what their passion is in life?
Experience. Experience is what shapes everything. Experience is what creates you. Like, that's how you're going to find out who you are and what you want to do. Is you can't just sit in your room and play video games and work out who you want to be, or sit at home.
Unless you are a gamer, of course.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your, I know. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to discriminate against gaming. I love gaming. It's to work out who you are. You got to do things. You got to experience things. Like I travelled for the first time. I mean, basically by myself and with a couple of friends when I was in my early 20s, 19 or whatever it was. And that's when I sort of realised what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it. Like when I went to America for the first time for the business, that was a big life-changing thing. And now I love travelling by myself. I know who I am through that, and I've still got a lot more to learn. Travelling for me was a big thing, just going out there and doing it. You can't just sit back and be scared and listen to other people. Oh, they haven't done it, so you can't do it. It's the biggest load of shit ever.
Yeah, that's exactly for me as well. Graduating from high school, I went straight to America for 2 years, college. I got a soccer scholarship for Kansas Community College. And the whole experience of like being away from your comfort zone and trying to like, I guess, float in a big sea is just, it teaches you a lot in life. And it actually helped me realize what my passion was, which was filmmaking and photography. So definitely, I agree 100%. Travel really opened my eyes to a lot of new experiences and taught me a lot.
Yeah, for me, it's a very defining thing. You can't do much and excel in life. Like experience is what helps everything. The experience is something you can't buy. You got to do it. You got to work those shit jobs that people don't want to work. You got to do. That's how you grow as a person and realize certain levels in society and different things need to be done at different times. You got to go through that. You can't just have everything easy. There's going to be times in business when you feel like shit, when you make no money, when you want to quit. But through experience, you know things are going to get better. It's always, and if worse comes to worse, if it doesn't get better, on to the next thing. That's an experience right there. Everyone's got to experience a loss. You can't win everything.
Just on the topic of business, I want you to explain how many ups and downs you actually experienced throughout the whole time you've opened up StreetX, and like, because on social media, it looks like you're killing it all the time, right?
Yep.
Like there's never any negatives, like downsides to it all. It's all like positive.
I do look good in Speedos, hey?
Yeah. So what sort of advice could you give to someone that hasn't experienced the ups and downs of business?
Time. Mental strength and time, man. It's the thing that beats everything. Everyone can do something and it can be great for the first 6 months, the first year, the first 18 months, 24 months, 36 months, whatever. It's nothing in life. It's the long-term battle that you have to worry about. You're gonna have a shit day, you're gonna have a shit 30 minutes, a shit 10 minutes, a shit 5 minutes, shit hour, whatever it is. It's always gonna get better. You just gotta stick it out. And you see so often with, I mean, especially use Perth as a very small example with brands, DJs, parties, all these small creative sort of things that the younger group of demographic does here. How many of them are there for a month, 2 months, 3 events, 4 events? And they go. Because everyone thinks they can do it, but they don't have the time to do it. And people don't have the effort. They think, oh yeah, it's easy, I can do it. But you can't. You have to put your mind and heart into it. And it's not going to blow up straight away. Our stuff, it's been 6 years and we're at the point now where I wish we could have started, but that's all part of the journey. And that's what makes it so much more fulfilling, is to have it that way so you can experience the highs and lows. There's highs and lows all the time, where everyone thinks we're this big established business. You're still going to have lows. You're still going to have lots of super highs whenever you've got a super high, you always got to come down. And that's what you've got to be prepared for. So you've got to do everything in life to ready yourself for that and prepare. You can't just be set up to function at that top end of the scale. You've got to work out how you're going to function, how you're going to steady the ship when you're at that point where you want to quit, because that's when you separate yourselves from everyone else. That's how you differentiate the winners from the losers.
And just to add to that as well, all comes into passion as well, like how much you truly love what you do. Because if you don't love what you do, then you're not going to last long term. Like for me, it took me about four years of like trying to grind out my business until I actually went full time and left my casual job. And that was still hard as well at the time. So definitely patience, work hard at what you do and love what you do.
Yeah, if you don't love what you do, don't bother. That's the main thing. It's like, obviously everyone's in different environments and lives in different worlds. Like some people, you gotta grind through the shit. Everyone's not as naturally gifted as we are here in Little Perth, where everyone lives sheltered lives away from the tough world. It's like travel and you realise how good we have it here. We get kids coming and complaining about working too hard at a clothing store. Go to a third world country and experience life. It's what it is, man. It's like we've got it very good here. So you can sit there and say, oh, this kid's got so much money, blah, blah, blah. It's play the cards you dealt. We're all very lucky in the part of society and in the world we live. So use it to your advantage and make the most of it. Don't just sit about waiting for someone else to do it and ride their coattails. Be yourself and go and do it.
It's perfect advice, man.
Everyone, you can talk about the business and having a good social profile and all that stuff, as long as you want how many followers you've got and how many likes and how much engagement you're getting. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that's going to get you further in any form of business and life alone is being a good person. If you can function in society and hold a conversation and treat people well and do the right thing, at the end of the day, it's all going to work out. It's like you can't just sit around looking at numbers. Things come before that. Being a good person is what's more important than how much money you made today, how much money you made tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, if you keep doing well by others, people are going to start doing the right thing by you, and that's how the world works. It's a never-ending flow-on effect. You can't do the wrong thing continuously. You'll get caught out, and that's not how the world works.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for your time, eh? Really appreciate it, bro.
Marcelo Productions.
You want me,